Welcome to Coffee and Conversions. I'm Guy Yalif, CEO at Intellimise, and today we're talking to Heidi Bullock, Chief Marketing Officer at Tealium. I've had the privilege of knowing Heidi for several years, watching her lead large B2B marketing organizations at Tealium, Engagio, Marketo, and more.
I've been in SaaS marketing roles, a variety of product marketing, product management, and demand gen for about 16 years. And now I'm at Tealium, where I've been there for about 2 years.
Well, let's dive in. Heidi, why is a high converting website important to Tealium as you try to drive leads to your sales team?
Your website it's kind of the front door to your house, right? It's really critical for everything you're doing. Even if you're a company, I think a lot of folks have moved more towards an ABM model. I would argue it's still incredibly important, right? Because you're still going to be doing all sorts of marketing that are directing people to your site where you do want them to convert and you want them to learn about your products and services. And so just at the highest level, this is, I think, what a lot of people don't think about. You're doing all sorts of things, all sorts of marketing channels. It could be digital, it could be an event. And people want to learn more about you, and your website's the place that's going to happen. And really, why a high converting website matters is because it's basically saying and helping you discern which channels are working the best and are people doing ultimately what you want them to do. And if they're not converting, something there's not right.
That resonates strongly. And it's clear your website is an important part of your buyer journey to know which of those channels are working. As it acts as your front door, are there particular stages in the funnel that you are looking for your website to move your prospects through, or how do you think about the role it serves?
Yeah, I like that question a lot because I think a lot of people, think about the website for one particular part of the buyer's journey. And I think classically, a lot of people think about, oh, my website, it's really important for acquisition. And I think especially in B2B, where a lot of organizations have more of a land and expand model, your website plays a critical part in all parts of the buyer's journey. And I can give you a few examples. If somebody's just kind of learning about you and they land on your website, great. You want to make sure that they understand what you do very quickly and that there's value to them. But as you know, a lot of us are also marketing to our current customers. So how do you make sure your website's playing a role in retention? Does your website have a place for your customer base for tips and tricks, right? Or for a lot of people who are trying to grow their customer base through expansion, is there a place where they can learn about new products and services and that path makes sense to them? It's something that they see value in quickly. So I think a lot of teams, they think about the website primarily for acquisition, for net new, but really, I think it's a great place to have, a really kind of a good spot for your current customer base as well.
As you and your team are acquiring new customers, trying to retain existing ones, and as you said, land and expand, what are you doing to ensure that they convert in each one of those phases of their journey today?
I think it's important to when you're looking at your customer base or net new and the conversion points at each of the stages, the first step is having goals. and you'd be surprised how many people don't just start with, all right, let's just have goals for each of these. And even for people that are just getting started that are listening to this, it's okay. Take your benchmarks and then say like, okay, if we know this particular base converts at say 5%, okay, fine, that's good. And maybe you can have a goal in 6 months. Can we get that number up? So I think it's like having goals in the first place, having a benchmark, and then kind of improving at each of those stages. And I'm often surprised at how many people just don't do that and don't do basic testing. And I guess, everyone gets busy. It kind of seems like, oh, we'll get to it later. But if you don't have that as a serious initiative, it'll never happen.
If you had one piece of web conversion optimization advice to share with our community of conversion obsessed marketers, what would it be?
Just have a regular process for testing. It's like brushing your teeth. You need to do it or you're going to lose your teeth. You want to keep your teeth, right? And I just find it's those small optimizations that can make a really big impact. Even a percent change could be huge. If you can get more people converting on your demo page, that could really make a big difference in your quarters.
Heidi, thanks for chatting with me today. It was wonderful to have you on this episode of Coffee and Conversions.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me, Guy.